Bob Morrow from Email Homes, talking about the BRRRR concept, part 2 renovation. This video we talk about a little bit about construction. So we've done the drawings. We have applied to the city for doing the duplex in this particular case, and the city has agreed. So they are now handing us permits, and we are looking for a contractor to actually do the work. Now, we kind of start this process a little sooner. Once the designer has done his drawings, that's usually when we will fire off the drawings to the various contractors you want to use. In my business, we've narrowed it down to one or two, so it's always one or the other. But if you have a contractor that you want to try out, most of them will quote more accurately when they see the drawings. They still want to come and see the house, but they like the drawings because they know exactly what the work is going to be. So we fire off those drawings to the contractor, and then we come to the house on a second visit. Hopefully your realtor has allowed for this, because we still don't own the house, remember. This is usually within the first couple of weeks of actually getting the offer accepted. So the contractor comes in, he's had a look at the drawings, and he can tell you how much it's going to cost based on what the drawings show and what he sees in the house. If you say, oh my God, that's way too much, then we can start the discussions with the contractor about how he can tweak the drawings a little bit and change certain things. One of the things a contractor can do right away is bring in one of the city inspectors. So for example, in years gone by, a lot of renovators were scared of the inspectors because a lot of renovators were trying to cut corners or whatever, construction crews. And so the city inspector was seen as somebody that's coming in to slap you on the wrist and say, no, you can't do that. We took the attitude, because we do want these things to be legal, that the inspector has to be our friend, and what better time to bring him in than before we actually do anything. So on one of those visits, we try to get the inspector out. Sometimes that's very hard to do because we have to get so many people to agree on a certain time. The sellers, the realtor, the inspector himself, which is the hardest, and the contractor. So usually it happens very close to after we've closed. We get the contractor in with the inspector. He's already made a quote, so you got past that stage, but the inspector's going to come in and he's going to look at things such as low ceiling height. Maybe that city needs 72 inches and it's only 71.5. That is so close that a lot of the inspectors will just let that go. But technically it's not up to code. And what will happen sometimes is, depending on the inspector, for that ½ inch, they might make us rip down the whole ceiling and do it again a little bit higher, pushing up ductwork or whatever. If that's the case, that can add a fair expense to your renovation. However, what we're trying to do before we start anything is get that inspector to agree with us, because in the drawings we've said that it was okay, and it's just a ½ inch off. So, can we pass this? And a lot of times the inspector will do that right at the beginning, so therefore we don't have to demolish the ceiling. That makes a big difference on renovation costs as well as timeline. And it's something you need to keep in mind, and something that you can ask the contractor when they come in that first time with the inspector. Some of the things you've discussed, how we can save some money, how we can get away with certain things that are not necessarily cutting corners, but just trying to, because they're so close, we're just trying to get them approved, and the inspector will often do that.